This is Christine Williams with the Cup of Glow, and I hope you have your cup. It is the 12th of August, and we experienced or are experiencing the energy of the eclipse, the full moon or the new moon, and the closing of the Lion's Gate. And today, if you add the numbers up of the calendar, August the 12th, 2018, we come up with the number 11, which is a portal number. And we are in perfect time, the perfect place to make decisions and commitments to ourselves. So this morning I was gifted a resort pass to a very special place from a friend. So I've got my iPad all set up. The camera is taking my eyes. If I look at something different, I might look at you. But if I'm looking at where I'm being focused to, it looks like I'm gazing off. So maybe I will talk to the light and pretend that it's you, okay? So then maybe you will get my message and feel like I'm speaking to you. If it feels like I'm veering off, it's because I am. It's just the setup. Don't fret. Okay, wow, what a day yesterday. I was at Omnipresence with beautiful people, beautiful friends, doing a market, a mini market. And I think that's something that the owner, Trudy, is going to do again. But it was just such a fun time. Artists, readers, all sorts of creative people with different creations, things that they had created were there. And, it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. And it's interesting because, Trudy did an event maybe a year ago similar to this outside. And I was observing me actually as I was enjoying the day yesterday. And I was observing how I felt. I was blessed to be by a young lady yesterday who was an artist, and it was her first show. I'm going to turn and get my card for the day before I get out of sync here. It was her first show, and she had never done anything like that before. I had an artist, a beginning artist on one side of me, and an accomplished artist, one who was more further along in his field. And it was so interesting watching them toggle back and forth. And he willingly and very kindly and lovingly offered her suggestions as she expressed her inadequacies for being there. And they had two totally different types of art. Nonetheless, they were their own creations and beautiful. And I observed her as me a year ago or two when I was just at the place where I was willing to go out into the marketplace with my gift, with my craft, with my sharing, whatever. And, it was a beautiful thing because I felt like being in the middle of the two, I got to watch the dance back and forth, the wise one sharing with the new one. And I got to just sit and observe. Now, as the day went on, and it was a hot day yesterday to be out on the black pavement, But as the day went on, she received a lot of people looked at her work. I don't know if she sold a piece or not. I know at the end, I think I saw her giving away some of her pieces. And as she drove off, and I'm very touched, when she gave away her work, I could see a feeling of satisfaction, great satisfaction. Now, through the day, there was disappointment, and I could see frustration, and I could see worry and wondering if this was all worth it. There was a time when I talked to her for a minute, and I asked her to tell me the stories of some of her paintings. When she did, she lit up. It was a beautiful thing. Every picture had a story. Like a flower, like a tree, like a stone. Every picture that she had painted was beautiful. It had a story, it had a message. And I reminded her that each one was valuable, and that there would be a day when those paintings would find their person, their people, that the house of where that story would be welcomed and feel comfortable. And as she left and drove off, and I smiled at her as she left, I could see both disappointment and pure satisfaction, because at the end, she gave some of those pieces away. I saw the people that she gave them to, and I saw the joy in their eyes, which I don't know if she got to see or not. It was very touching, because over the past 20 years of my work, I would say the majority of it I've given away. It was a joy to give away. And I always worried, how will I ever make it? How will I ever make it financially? And then yesterday, as I sat next to the more accomplished gentleman who was the artist, he sold a couple of his paintings and made some dollars. And afterwards, we chatted, and I said, "So how was your day? Did you have a good day?" And he said, "It was a great day." The first thing he mentioned was, "I was with great people. I got to share my gift. Some of my paintings sold, and it made space for me to paint more." Interesting, his comments to me. The first thing was not about the money. It was about being around beautiful people. And then beautiful energy. And then selling some of his goods, which then made room for him to create more. What a beautiful day that was for me to experience. As for me, I can say I experienced the same thing. It was a beautiful day. I got to enjoy beautiful people, enjoy a beautiful energy. I did get to sell some of my wares, some of my gifts. And it gave me great ideas and space to create more and desire to do more. Now my prayer is for the young girl who loaded up her car after her first experience of going out into the marketplace, giving away some of her products and leaving. Her pocket was empty, but I believe that her heart was full. And for me, this reiterates the message that it's not about the money. We need money to support ourselves. Money is an energy. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's a beautiful thing. And when we have it, we can propel ourselves forward. But let us not be in the illusion that it is only money that allows us to propel ourselves forward. In her place of not having, she gave what she had. She is the one that opened herself up totally 100% to trust, trusting in her abilities. She put herself out there, she gave, and I fully believe that she opened the door to receive. My prayer is that she will have the courage, now that she has entered the marketplace, to step into it further, to have greater confidence in her practice, in her painting, in her gifts, and paint more and refine her skill and be able to give more of what she desires. That was such a beautiful experience. I just wanted to share that with you today because I learned so much. So I have my little cup. It's full of my Joe and Glow. I hope you've got your cup today. Today is a new day. It's a beautiful day. It's a birthing day. We've released the past and we're stepping into new energy. A new day. It's today. And it is a day where we can move forward with courage and hope and rejoicing in a higher vibration. And the energy of this new time and the vibration of this time is joy. It is happiness. It is a lighter vibration. It's time to play and it's time to believe in magic and miracles. Oh my goodness, I had another experience. If I don't pull a card, it won't even matter. But I had another beautiful experience of a young lady who sat down at the end of the day. In fact, she was probably the last person I visited with. I'm not quite sure, but maybe not. Next to the last. Beautiful African American young woman. I believe she was probably a young student, maybe, 19, 20, 18. I don't know how old she is. Just came and sat down and wanted to talk. And so we enjoyed visiting. She wrote down her intentions or desires or wish or prayer and put it into a box that I had there, my God box, my box that I carry people's intentions or desires, and then go and have a special fire ceremony, burning them, in which it's very symbolic, but then releases their desires and wishes to heaven. There's many ways in which we can do that, but that's just a really beautiful ceremonial thing to do at the full moon or the new moon. We do it every day in prayer or meditation. We have many ways. We can drum our intentions in, we can sing our intentions in, we can pray them in, we can say them in, write them in. Sometimes even in the quietness of our hearts and not even the uttering of word can we bring them forward. But in this box, she placed her desires in her prayer for a new beginning. And we got to visit. And what a beautiful story she shared with me. We talked about the crane, the origami crane, and the little gal who the legend was created around, who had cancer, Mia. Anyway, it was a result of the war and the bombings and the aftermath, which had affected her body. And she was of the belief that as she folded these cranes, that when she reached 1,000 cranes, she would be healed. That was her wish. And she never made it to 1,000, but in the process, her friends continued on the folding of the cranes, and a monument was built for her. And the story goes on. So in her death, in her passing, she left a story of joining together, of believing, of wishing, of hoping, of putting it out there. And the story goes on. So interesting. As we were talking there, this little gal shared with me that this crane reminded her of when a group of her friends gathered together for a little boy who was very ill, cancer, I believe, and they started to fold cranes, and the little boy did not make it. He passed. But in the process, there was a gathering of people, a gathering of souls, and they gathered together and they joined in love. And again, someone gave their life to bring people together. So this kind of brought me to my thinking. So by the way, the really interesting thing, as she was sharing that story, we've had these fires, and the air was full of, every so often, we didn't have much wind yesterday, but every so often you could look down and you would see this little white debris from the fire that was drifting in the air. The very moment she was telling that story, and that she believed, and she was trying to remember, and I was trying to remember, and who knows, maybe we've messed up the story a bit. But as she talked about the girl who the legend was centered around, and she says, I believe that she got her leukemia or cancer as a result of the bomb and the what it put out, the radiation, the aftermath of this disaster. And at that moment, a little fleck of debris got into her eye, and it took a minute for her to see. It was such a beautiful moment because to me it was a witness. It was a witness of the spirits of the two we were talking about, the little girl, the legend of that little Asian girl, the legend of the little boy, not legend, but the story of the little boy that she helped, and that their lives were in the struggle and in the desires of them to heal. It wasn't a healing of their body that took place. It was a healing of many, of those who joined together to love and have faith and courage and built a community as they served, as they reached out and created a cradle of arms to hold these people as they passed. To me, that is the story, that is the legend. And she said to me, I believe in miracles and magic, and it's all around us everywhere. And all we need to do is see it, is to open our eyes and look, because it's everywhere. And that's my story today. That's how I feel today as I move into this new energy. And the card that I pulled today is from the Wisdom of Avalon. Okay, I love Colette Baron Reid and her work. But it was so wonderful when I pulled this card because it just matched how I feel. It matched the story, but it is Merlin. Okay? It's about the miracle, about the magic, about the believing. It's card number 1, which is the beginning of a new story, which is where we're at today. We are at the beginning. We are at the beginning of a new story. Let me read this really quickly. The Merlin is the messenger of initiation and alchemy, and is both the magician and the high priest. And I would like to say the miracle man as well. Okay. He is a masculine keeper of miracles and magic, and has the ability to turn iron ore into gold. The Merlin says, you have all you need to move forward. This is what I hope you're all hearing. You have all you need to move forward. Rejoice that all the elements you require for success are indeed present. You don't have to go hunting anymore. You have gathered your tools. You have everything you need to move forward. You are you are given notice that when it comes to your life and its purpose, the magical aspects of the Merlin can be summoned to help you find an answer that is within you. Merlin the magician, the God, the I am, the miracle is in you. It is within you, and you can summon it to come forward whenever you want. When the Merlin appears, he tells you that justice will be done in all manners of your query, but not by any forceful attention. Instead, ask yourself what you need to do to bring balance into your life. Are you working too hard? Perhaps overthinking? Do you have enough downtime? The answers you seek are not found in obvious places. It is time to go within. Through meditation and prayer, ask the spirit world of the magician's magical miracle influence to send you signs and omens to help keep your chart on course. The Merlin says that he will lend you his wisdom and magic of this leg of your journey until you can claim it on your own. His message is always, be in the world, but not of it, and wear it only as a cloak around your shoulders. Sorry. You will never have to look outside of yourself for the answers when the Merlin appears. Remember, all signs and omens sent by the Merlin, by the God in you, by Spirit, are but reflections of that which is within you already. I love that. That is absolutely the most beautiful message. That is the message I want to share with you today with my cup of glow, is that you and I and we have everything we need within us to create that miracle. It is given to us, it is instilled within us by our Creator. We have everything we need. And if we have a down day, find the up in it, because it is there to teach us something. The lesson of the day is there to teach us something. The wisdom of the day, when things seem slow or no go, may be wait, watch, learn, gather, and then move forward with wisdom, with courage, with faith, with hope. This is the message of the day. Call upon the Merlin within you. You have everything you need to be what you desire, to be who you are. You've been gathering your gifts, you've been gathering your tools, you've been searching and trying to learn. I want to suggest to you that the next book you pull off the shelf is the book inside of you. The next reading or blessing or wisdom that you seek out from someone so-called wise or gifted in their craft, I'm going to suggest that the next one comes from you, from the Merlin, from the magic, from the I am in you. Take your wisdom because it's there. And then, of course, gather from the other wise ones, but recognize that you hold the keys to your story. You hold the very key to your life and to your success and your happiness. Today is your day. It is a day to move forward in joy and love and singing and dancing and rejoicing. Today is your day. It's a day of miracles. It's a day of alchemy. It's a day of you. Step into you today. Cup of glow, and have a beautiful day.